So we said it. Excuses, what does that mean? What do excuses simply mean? Excuses simply mean slavery. Unless you're too ignorant to recognize, any excuse, you have to blame something for you not accomplishing something. Read The Advancing Individual. I put the game in books. I put it in these videos. All these different means and methods of getting you to understand that at the root of everything, you're the fuck up. And it's up to you to become the master of your existence. But let's break it down even more. Excuses equals slavery. Don't get the game twisted. Anytime you make an excuse, what you're doing is blaming something and admitting that you're too inadequate to rise above it. So, whatever you use to blame, whether it's the weather, whether it's your emotions, whether it's a lack of sleep, whether it's anything, somebody, this, that, the fourth, anything but yourself, guess what? It's your master. It is the limit on your life. You are no longer an unlimited being. You are no longer a free individual. That is your cap. Like I said, excuses equals slavery. So you are a slave to whatever you blame. This is why I never disrespect myself by ever making an excuse. I'd rather blame my inadequacy. I'd rather say I'm not good enough. I'd rather say I'm not up to standard. I'd rather get better, be better, rise to superior through superior conduct, rise to superiority, personal superiority through superior conduct, and get out of that inferior state that I'm existing in before I ever blame anything for my lack of results in this life. Your lack of results in this life are all your fault. And you have to recognize that. So many people would rather make all these excuses. You just look stupid. Trust me, you look more stupid making the excuse than you do by not even having the result and not speaking to begin with. I'll say that again. You look even more stupid making an excuse than as stupid as you look without the result to begin with. So for all you addicted individuals, you look more stupid making an excuse than as stupid as you look with that shit in your mouth, with those mood swings, with that lack of self-control, with that slavery to that little external object that helps you get out of your feelings for a little bit, but you the one that first used it and jumped in your feelings to begin with. Whatever you are, your world is yours. You get it? Excuses are slavery. That's the funniest thing about it. And most people would think that slavery, because I'd ask, what's the practical difference? What's the practical difference between slavery and excuses? Because everybody wants to feel away. So I ask, since everybody feels away, oh, excuses, slavery, I'm not a slave. All right. So what's the difference between excuses and slavery? Somebody, please enlighten me. See, I'm already ahead of the game. So I realize that most of you imagine that slavery necessitates an external will imposed upon you. Well, guess what? It's 2023. You're not being pressed into doing shit. Y'all are self-slaves. So what's the opposite of self-mastery, which is the only success that we've been telling you about for the past 2-3 years? What's the opposite of self-mastery? Self-slavery. Whatever you are, your world is yours. Yeah, excuses equals slavery. The worst part about it, or best part about it, it's all up to your perspective, right? Because what that means is you have the opportunity. The worst part about it is you're the slave master of your own life. So you're the one keeping yourself in a lower state of existence. And the best part about it, since it's self-slavery, is that you can rise to superior conduct and be the master of your own existence. Whatever you are, your world is yours. Evolution can't be guided, can't be provided, it can only be guided. I'll say that again, just to be clear. Evolution can't be provided, it can only be guided. Emancipation Proclamation, right? They gave people freedom. Yeah, these days, freedom can't be provided because the freedom is in the mentality. Mindset is everything. So, Emancipation Proclamation, here guys, now you're free. But there's more to life than being physically free and able to move around and do as you will, right? So now, the next level of freedom for white, black, Spanish, any type of human, because it's no longer a matter of being pressed into physical labor and servitude. Yeah, it's no longer a matter of being pressed into physical labor and servitude. Now, it's all mental. So the evolution can't be provided, it can only be guided. Well, freedom out of slavery can no longer be provided, it can only be guided. Why your world is yours. At what point do you recognize that you're your own fault and your lack of results are your own fault? So many people are actually so stupid and delusional that they'll really convince themselves that they're living freely by fucking their lives. That's the height of stupidity. To think and truly believe that by running around drinking, showing your ass, smoking, destroying your body, destroying your life, destroying your name, destroying your lineage, just straight up living a life of pure self-destruction, simply because you have the ability to exercise your will as you think as being free. But all you're doing is simply putting a chain here, putting a chain here, more restrictions there, more limitations there, sober, fit, enlightened, and getting rich. Prosperity at the highest level, expansion to the fullest degree, growth unimpeded. Why your world is yours. We're at this point. He's done it. He's shown you every step of the way that literally there has been no excuse. 245, 444, rain, sleet, snow, blizzards. Choosing to rise to superior conduct simply because what? I hit that point where I'd rather be inwardly free than anything else. So the freedom and the liberation of the soul comes by, first, being really honest. Second, not simply speaking your truth, but being your truth. A lot of you are not being your truth. And in fact, you're being the greatest lie possible. You don't want to be addicted. You don't want to be out of shape. You don't want to be ignorant, and you don't want to be broke. Nobody wakes up saying, hey, let me be more enslaved to this external substance and unable to function without it today. Nobody wakes up and says, hey, let me wake up and be physically weaker, have less endurance, and look like shit today. Nobody wakes up and says, hey, I'd like to decrease my mental capacity today. Nobody wakes up and says, hey, I'd like to make sure I'm as broke as possible today so that I can't eat, I can't get shelter, I can't buy the things I want, I can't invest in myself, I can't develop myself. Nobody wakes up and says they want to be addicted or out of shape or ignorant or broke or all of the above or 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4. Nobody wakes up and says that shit. But a lot of people end up doing that shit. Why? Because they allow their excuses to stop them. And I need y'all to stop acting like when I say people, yeah, because you are people too. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you get into an argument with your parents, they I'm not people, I'm your father. I'm not people, I'm your mother. Motherfucker, you a human. You shit, you speak, you piss, you fuck, you do all that shit. The fuck? You ain't Allah. The fuck out my face. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all see me making these observations about people, unless you possess the qualities of being sober, fit, enlightened, and getting rich at the same time, know that you are people, motherfucker. Don't be like, yeah, ha, 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 and try to use this as intellectual weapons. Like I said once upon a time, what did I say? People use these insights as, and weaponize them as projections instead of using them for introspective reflection or something like that, right? So use these for introspective reflections instead of interpersonal projections. Why your world is yours, consider the vibrations raised. Get your ass on a team. Get your ass in a room. Get your ass on those calls so that you can be around the right people with the right mindset. The basics is easy. Can you be sober and can you be in shape? Great. After that, what? The fuck? You just gonna sit there and just be a normal existing organism? That shit is basic as fuck. Being sober is called breathing and drinking water and eating food and resting and continuing your organic existence. Duh. Being in shape means that you exercise and you have a certain decent work ethic towards your survivability, right? All you fucking soft cupcake motherfuckers would not survive if there wasn't a fucking corner store for you to go get your cupcakes from. Real life. Enlightenment and getting rich, those require different degrees of awareness. Trust me, you're not in that seat of awareness. Get your ass in a room and become a superior conducting individual, a superior conducting being. Rise out of that inferiority and realize that all excuses are just slavery. And it's really like that. But the best part about it, because most people think that slavery necessitates an external will being imposed upon them, no, motherfucker, it's you. So you have the opportunity to recognize that, yeah, you are living in self-slavery right now. But you can either focus on that, get mad at me, and sit there and grunt and grumble, or you can also realize the best part about it is that self-mastery is the only success. Now, if you reverse your conduct and reverse your thinking pattern, you can shift your paradigm, and you can no longer be a slave unto yourself, and you can become a master unto yourself. Are you aware of the things I'm saying? Do you comprehend what I am saying? Shouts out to everybody on the team right now. I love y'all for even investing in yourselves. You know, I never anticipated meeting none of y'all, and I'm so happy that, you know, I'm just here for y'all. So y'all growth is everything to me. I don't give a fuck about me. I done had it all. I done had everything. I done tasted everything. I done experienced a lot of shit. None of that shit matters, bro. Drop 20 million in my bank account right now and motherfucking give me 10 condos. It's not going to make me feel any different. I'm still going to be fucked up, sad, and depressed because I'm looking around and I'm seeing people fucking acting like little slaves and acting and living below their threshold of potential. And that shit fucks me up because I believe and know that I am something way beyond what they're teaching everybody. And I believe, and what you believe for yourself is what you believe for others. So what I see in myself, I'm not just keeping for myself to rise above the egotistical advancing individual, right? Egoism versus egotism. I'm not just using what I know and feel to assume self-superiority against everybody else. No, it's egoism. I just know that my value is at this level, so I'm going to express my value, but I also see that same value in y'all. Why your world is yours. I need y'all to realize my whole existence is about you. My whole existence is truly about you. I'd have left a long time ago. I don't give a fuck about this earth. This earth don't really mean shit. It's not going to give me nothing. It's just a perpetual state of desire. So once you transcend that shit and you actually live for growth, and it's not about no amount of money, no amount of sex, no amount of food, no amount of nothing could actually solve the issue. It's about growing and experiencing and evolving in consciousness to the point where you literally become, you feel me? Why your world is yours, consider the vibrations raised. What you gonna do? Choose slavery every day? Or are you gonna have the courage to rise to freedom? Evolution, only solution. Self-mastery, only success. Seek superior instructions. Superior conduct is the only gateway out of your bullshit self-slavery. Trust me, there's no way out of that shit. You are the inferior conducting individual and must exist and experience the products of an inferior set of conduct. Now, reverse that. Get the superior instructions, rise to superior conduct, and you will be the source of your most beautiful existence possible. Consider the vibrations.